here we go with the left sleeve and then some seaming. So will this one be 30 or will this one be 29? I don't know. We are hanging the final side of the yoke sweater. So that is the extra one. So I'm just going to keep hanging from that last seam to see how close to 30 we get. And then I will tuck in all of those ends just like we did before. You want to make sure you don't twist this by accident. Because you don't want to twist in your yoke sweater. This one's not going to quite make it. This one ended up being 29. Not a big deal. I'm going to pick up the other half now, making sure there's no twist. Not twisting, not turning, lifting. Okay, same maneuver. It's quite normal not to have all 30 stitches. Trying not to get my hair in the camera. All right. 1, 2, waste yarn's being naughty. Past it. Okay. What a pain in the butt. Okay. So we are 1 short. We have options. We can either pretend that it's not 1 short and just roll with it, or we can just not do 1 decrease when we go to decrease, which is, I think, what we're going to do. Before we start, we always need to weigh down our project. Otherwise, it'll just jump off. Coming up from underneath and stabbing the work. Two big barrel weights is all you need. All right. We will come back when I have this totally in the camera. All right, I have moved my carriage to the opposite side of the bed. I'm grabbing my yarn, putting it into my sinker plate, hanging onto it underneath, and changing my tension to 7. Taking a deep breath, checking my work, and realizing that I have not yet actually secured any of my yarn tails. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go have a lunch break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do all of these yarn tails, because obviously I need a break. Okay, so let's do this again. Now that I have all of these ends weaved in and I've had a little bit of something to eat, we are now going to knit across. We're at tension 7, row counts at 0, everything's up. Now we're going to lock in all of those stitches. Okay, so this is the end of our piece. Now we have to do those transfers. Just like last time, we need to make sure that we offset the transfers. So one stitch in, bring them forward. There we go. We will transfer the stitches that I just put up. I'm going to take off the sink plate, put it to the side, and put on the connecting arm. Okay, it's all transferred. I'm going to take my fancy dancy little tool, and we're going to push back all the ones that shouldn't be in play, so we don't have a repeat of the last time. Look at us go. Okay, lower the beds. Grabbing our river comb in between the beds, more or less at 0. In between the river. Okay, before we continue, we're going to put the claw weights up and onto those last stitches. Ribbers up. Still have my pressers in, so don't forget about that. Connect your ribber. Moving up the barrel weights to 30-ish and 30-ish. Deep breath. Reset your row counter. Bring your ribber a little closer, your carriage. You want tension 3 and tension 3. Deep breath. Everything looks good. Let's see how long this yarn lasts for. Row 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, not bad. We got to row 12 out of 15 before we have to switch yarns. I'm going to do a Russian join so that I don't have as much to worry about. And we'll come back once all that's ready to go. All right, we're continuing with row 12 of 15. Let's go. There's 13, 14, 15. Now I'm going to transfer all the stitches upward, and then we will come back and knit that row at tension 10. All right, so here we are. Lowering the bed. Saying a prayer. This is the last row of knitting that we have on this entire project. We've had a pretty good journey using this machine today, this week, over the last month. This is tension 10. I need some more yarn here. Okay, going to knit across one row. Taking the yarn out. Four times around. Cutting the yarn. And now I'm going to backstitch just like I did before. Moving all the weights. Just like the last one, we're going to backstitch, and then you'll come back and join me for the seaming a little bit. Which I think we will put back on the machine like we did last time. Okay, so here's our last stitch. Just like earlier, we're going to drop it off. And now we get to take a look at this big mess. I have a feeling you can't see anything that I'm doing, but I'm removing the triangle weights and all of these little clips. So, oh, I hear another one. There it is. We have all of these yarn tails to trim up, secure. Can you even see what I'm doing? Barely. Okay, so we have all of these yarn ends, tails to weave in. We have, this is your sleeve. We need to seam the sleeves. We need to seam up the body to the back to the body. I mean the front to the back to the front. I think the fastest way to do that and the most accurate way to do that is to take the ribber off and use our main bed as a linker again, just like we did before. I think that'll have the least amount of clerical errors. And then while I watch my TV tonight, I will work on all of these yarn tails, and then we'll come back tomorrow for the big reveal. So I will make a short video on using your main bed as a linker, and then I guess we'll meet back when this is done. Thanks for joining me. This has been one hell of an adventure. Alright, so in today's video, This is a supplementary video on how to use your bulky knitting machine as a linker or a linking device. You do not need any carriage on your machine. You will not be using a carriage. You need to make sure that you're not twisting your work at all. Hang on. Okay. So, what we have here is long stitches, short stitches, long stitches. You're going to hang all of the long stitches with the right side facing towards you on your first piece. I'm going to guess that I will be at 35. And you're just hanging just the long stitches, not the short stitches at all. And you will hang just the long stitches of piece 1, and then the piece that mirrors it will have the right side facing the right side of the first piece, whether it's the back, the front, or a sleeve. So I'm going to finish hanging this back piece, and then I'm going to hang the front piece on top of it. We'll come back when I'm done that part. Okay, so the back or front piece of this knitwear is now on the machine. I'm now hanging the second half or second piece, going from the ribbing upward. Again, finding that long stitch, and then bringing it forward. In this case, I'm keeping them separated. I'm not going to put any weight on this front piece or back piece, whichever one this is. I will actually bring this back piece forward to do the seaming. You get the idea. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have them all the way across. That was my husband sneezing. He has very violent sneezes. I am now going to take a length of yarn that I have. I'm going to take a long one here. Do I have a long one? I don't think I do. Oh, I'm going to take some new yarn then. One, at least 2 times the length I need. I'm not worried about that. Now the fun part. I have now threaded my double eye. I'm bringing this back one forward, and I'm going through those first 2 stitches. Now, you have this nice yarn tail, up, down, up, down, up, down, back through here, up, down, up, down, up, down, leaving this small little tail. Careful with your pegs. Okay, So bring this back through here between the two, come underneath and follow the needle and come through. Tighten it up just a little bit. Come between the two. Follow the needle. Come back through. It's okay if that one's not been caught. We'll catch it on this side. So going between those two and into the stitch behind. You have now caught the yarn tail, coming back through, and you're going through all of the stitches that are on the needle and ignoring the ones that are not. Coming back through here, following the needle, now at this point you got the turnaround on your yarn tail. Grab carefully, open it up. You may need a pick for this one. Take your pick, open up the stitch, put your needle through, release your pick. You are now into that long stitch, and you're into the long stitch from the back. Bring it forward, and you're secure. Hang on, please. Okay, so now we just have the two stitches. So we're just going to follow each of the needles, and we're just going to grab the long stitch. Come back through, pull it down, grab it, come back through. Pull it down, grab it, come back through. And that is what we're going to do for the back and the fronts and the sleeves. That's how I seam these. Okay, so this is our finished project, and there you go.